Hello friends and my dear students, I welcome you all to my channel. I hope you're all well and your studies are also going on well. If you are not yet subscribed and if you are new to my channel, I will highly suggest and request that you support me by subscribing to my channel, and also please do not forget to press the bell icon so that you will be notified by my future videos. If my videos are beneficial to you, then please support me in that way. It will motivate me to come up with this kind of videos on regular basis. So this video is part of the playlist CBSE Mathematics Class 7 following the textbook of author RS Aggarwal. This is part 4 on the series of videos on the chapter Unitary Method. In this video, I will be solving the test paper 9, which is given at the end of the chapter Unitary Method in the textbook of author RS Aggarwal. This will be a good concept evaluation test on the chapter Unitary Method, which will test your understanding of two quantities varying directly or varying inversely, and solve a sample test paper in a certain duration of time. Ideally, you should solve this paper in 45 minutes. That is, ideally you should take 3 minutes to solve a problem. So I am not sure whether I will be able to solve this problem in 45 minutes or in an hour, because I have to discuss the concepts while solving the problem. So let's see how much time I take. So let's get started with this video. Okay, so I have the test paper 9 on the left hand side. I hope you can see the font. The font is big enough and you can read it. And on the right hand side, I have the writing pad where I will solve the problems. Okay, so let's start solving the problem. The first is section A. And the problem number 1 says, if the cost of 8 toys is rupees 192, what will be the cost of 14 such toys? So this is a pretty simple problem. So for all problem, I will identify the two quantities A and B, and based on the problem scenario, I will also identify how these two quantities A and B are varying, whether they are varying directly or they are varying inversely. Accordingly, I will apply the formula or the concept that the ratio, that is A by B, is constant, or their product is constant, that is AB is constant. So I will follow this procedure to solve all the problems. So for this problem, let's say A is the number of toys. A is the number of toys, and B the cost of toys. Now definitely these quantities A and B are indirect, they vary directly, because since the cost of each toy is constant, so if the number of toys is more, then the total cost will be more. So in this scenario, in this problem, A and B varies directly. So this implies that A1 by B1 will be equal to, that is, if A1 and B1 are two values of the quantity A and B, and also A2 and B2 are two values of the quantity A and B, then the ratio will be same, that is A1 by B1 will be equal to A2 by B2. Now it says that 8 toys, let's say this be A1, is costing rupees 192. Let's say this be P1, and it is asking what will be the cost of 14 such toys. So if 14 toys, if we consider this as A2, and let's say 14 toys will cost rupees X, this will be B2. So now we can say, as per the formula that the ratio A by B remains constant, we can say that A1 by B1 equals to A2 by B2. This implies 8 by 192 will be equal to 14 by x. this implies that x will be equal to 14 multiplied by 192 divided by 8. Now this is 8 divides 132, it is 16 and 4. Now this is 24 into 4. So this will be 96 and 24. So this is 633. This equals rupees 336. So rupees the cost of 14 toys will be rupees 336. So the answer is rupees 336. Okay. Question number 2. Question number 2. So while I am solving the, if you always try to solve the problem yourself, and if you are stuck in solving the problem, then you watch my videos to see the solution. You can pause the video and take a screenshot of the solution of any problem for your reference. Let's solve problem number 2. A car can cover 270 km in 15 liters of petrol. How many kilometers will it cover in 8 liters of petrol? So definitely let's identify the quantity. So A, let's say distance covered, and B be the petrol required. So now if there is more petrol, definitely the distance covered will be more, because the car is obviously running at a uniform speed. Even though it is not mentioned, we can always assume that the car is running at uniform speed. So if there is more petrol, the car will cover more distance, and if there is less petrol, the car will cover less distance. So definitely A and B varies directly. This implies that A1 by B1 will be equal to A2 by B2, where please note that whenever I am writing that A1 by B1 equals to A2 by B2, it means that the concept is that for any value of A and B, the ratio A by B will be constant. So if A1 and B1 are values of the quantity A and B, and A2 and B2 are another values of the quantity A and B, then the ratio will be same. That is, A1 by B1 will be equal to A2 by B2. Okay, so it says that the car covers 270 kilometer. Let's say this is A1 is covered in 15 liters of petrol. 15 liters of petrol. Let's say this be B1. Now it is saying how many kilometers will it cover in 8 liters of petrol. Let's say the car covers X kilometer. This will be A2 in 8 liters of petrol. So this will be B2. So now we can say that using this the ratio remains constant using the formula A1 by B1 equals to A2 by B2. We can say that 270 by 15 will be equal to X by 8. This implies X equals 270 into 8 divided by 15, and this is 590, and this is 18. So this is this equals 144. 18 into 8 is 144. So X is 144 kilometer. So in the car in 8 liters will travel 144 kilometer. So 144 kilometer is the answer. Okay. Let's solve question number 3. If 15 envelopes cost rupees 11.25, what is the cost of 20 such envelopes? So definitely I'm not sure whether I will be able to complete the solution of 3 in the available space. Let's see. So over here A is number of envelopes and quantity B is cost of the envelopes. So definitely more is the number of envelopes, the total cost will be more. So A, B varies directly. So we have A1 by B1 equals to A2 by B2. So now it is given that 15 envelopes, I mean short writing E for envelopes, let's say E, 15 envelopes it costs, so this will be A1 is costing 11.25, and it is asking what is the cost of 20 such envelopes. So 20, let these be 2 and this was B1. Let 20 envelopes will cost X rupees X. This will be B2. Now this implies that 15 by 11.25 is equal to 20 by X. This implies X equals 20 multiplied by 11.25 divided by 15. Now 15 I guess will divide 1125. Let's see, divide by 5. This is 3, this is 4, and 3 will surely divide. This is 3, 7 and 5. So 3.75 into 4, this is 3.75 into 4. So 20, 30, 15 rupees. So 20 envelopes will cost 15 rupees, where it was given that 15 envelopes was costing 11.25 rupees. So 15 rupees is the answer. Okay. Where is the insert page? Okay. Now let's solve question number 4. It says 20 cows can graze a field in 20 days. 20 cows can graze a field in 20 days. How many cows can graze it in 15 days? So the quantity are number of cows, and B is number of days to graze the field. So if definitely, so B is the number of days to graze the field and A is the number of cows. Now if the number of cows is more, definitely the number of days to graze the field will be less, and vice versa. Meaning if the number of cows is less, then the number of days to graze the field will be more. So this definitely shows that A and B varies inversely. So this implies that their product will be same, that is A1 B1 will be equal to A2 B2, where A1 B1 is some value of the quantity A and B, and B and A2 and B2 are some other values of the quantity A and B, meaning that always remember that B1 is the corresponding value of the quantity A, where when A1 is the value of the quantity A, and B2 is the corresponding value of the quantity B when A2 is the value of the quantity A. Okay, so now it is given that 24 cows this is A1 graze the field in 20 days, this is B1. So now it is asking how many cows can graze it in 15 days. Let's say X cows, this is A2, will graze the field in 15 days, this is B2. So now we can say that applying A1 B1 equals to A2 B2, we can say that 24 into 20 will be equal to X into 15. So this implies X equals 24 into 20 divided by 15. So this is 5 3 5 4 3 8, this is 32. So 32 cows is the answer. 32 cows will graze the field in 15 days. Okay, let's solve question number 5. It says 8 men can finish a piece of work in 15 hours. How many hours can 20 men finish it? So the quantity are number of men, and B is time in hours to complete a task, a piece of task or work. So definitely if there are more men, then the time required to complete the task will be less, and if there are less number of men, the time required to complete the task or work will be more. So definitely we can see that A and B varies inversely, meaning that A1 B1 will be equal to A2 B2. Now it is given that 8 men, this is A1, completes the task or work in 15 hours. This is B1. Now it is asking in how many hours can 20 men finish it. So 20 men, this is A2. Let's assume that 20 men can finish the work in X hours. This will be B2. So now applying the concept that A1 B1 is equal to A2 B2, we get that 8 into 15 equals 20 into X. This implies X equals 8 into 15 divided by 20. Okay, so 5 4 5 3 2, this is 6. So 20 men will finish the work in 6 hours. Definitely it will finish the work in less than 15 hours, because 20 men is more than 8 men. Okay, let's solve Question number 6. If 4/5 of a cistern is filled in 1 minute, how much time will be required to fill the empty cistern? Okay. If 4/5 of a cistern is filled in 1 minute, okay. 4/5 means 4/5 is a fraction. So 4/5 part of the whole cistern is filled in 1 minute. So how much will be required? How much time will be required to fill the full cistern? Full means the whole part, that is 1. Okay. So A is fraction of cistern being filled, and B is the time taken, time required to fill. That is, P is the quantity, B is the time required to fill a certain fraction of the cistern. Now obviously, if you have to fill a more fraction, more part of the cistern, it will take more time, and to fill a less part of the cistern, it will take less time. So A, B varies directly. Because if the quantity A is the fraction of the cistern being filled, and quantity B is the time required to fill that fraction of the cistern. So definitely, if A is more, B will also be more, and if A is less, B will be less. So A and B varies directly. This means that A1 by B1 will be equal to A2 by B2. Now it is given that 4/5, the fraction is 4/5 of the cistern is being filled in 1 minute. 1 minute. So this is A1, this is B1, and it is asking how much time will be required to fill the empty cistern. Empty cistern means the whole cistern. So whole means this will be 1. So the data A is the fraction of the cistern. So what is the fraction? What will be the fraction of the whole cistern? I mean, so the whole cistern means the whole part, that is 1, and 1 is nothing but 1 by 1. So that is the fraction. The quantity A is being denoted. We are assuming the quantity A is the fraction of cistern being filled, and it is in the first data. It has given that 4/5 of the cistern, that is 4/5 fraction of the cistern, is being filled in 1 minute. Now it is asking how much time will be required to fill the whole cistern. The whole cistern means the fraction is 1. Now let's assume that the whole cistern will be filled in X minute. Now this implies, applying the fact that ratio remains same, we have 4 by 5 divided by 1 equals 1 divided by X. This implies X equals 5 by 4 minute. 5 by 4 minute. This is equals 1 and 1 by 4 minute. This is 1 minute plus 60 by 4 second. So this is 1 minute plus 15 second. So 1 minute and 16 seconds, 15 seconds it will take to fill the whole cistern. to fill the whole cistern or the empty cistern. It means the same. Okay. So let's move on to question number 7. It says a bus covers a certain distance in 3 hours 20 minutes at an average speed of 45 km per hour. Okay. So the bus is average speed also means uniform speed. So running at a uniform speed or average speed of 45 km per hour, a certain distance the bus is covering in 3 hours 20 minutes. Okay. How much time will it take to cover the same distance at a speed of 50 km per hour? Okay. So the quantity A we can say is the speed of the bus. The speed of the bus in kilometer per hour. Speed of the bus, let's say in kilometer per hour, and B is the time required to cover the distance. The distance here is fixed. Cover the distance. So a certain distance, the bus is covering a certain distance. Now definitely if the bus moves or runs at a higher speed, it will take less time. And if the bus runs at a less speed, it will take more time. So we can see that A and B varies inversely. So we can say that A1 B1 will be equal to A2 B2. Okay, now it says that the bus covers a certain distance in 3 hours 20 minutes at an average speed of 45 km per hour. So 45 kilometer running at a speed of 45 km per hour, let's say this be A1, it is covering the distance in 3 hours 20 minutes. So we have to let's convert the unit, the time 3 hours 20 minutes into minutes. So 3 hours 20 minutes means 180 minutes plus 20 minutes, that is 200 minutes. 200 minutes. Let's say this is B1. Now it is asking how much time will it take to cover the same distance at a speed of 50 km per hour. So if the speed now is 50 km per hour, this be A2, then what is the time it will take to cover the same distance? Let's say it is covering in X minute. So this is B2. Now applying the formula A1 B1 will be equal to A2 B2, we get 45 multiplied by 200 should be equal to 50 multiplied by X. This implies X is equal to 45 multiplied by 200 divided by 50. This is 4, this is 20, and this is 180. So this should be 180 minute, which is less than 200 minute, and that should be the case because it is now running at a high speed, that is 50 km per hour. So 200 minute it was taking by the bus when it was running at 45 km per hour, and now if it runs at 50 km per hour, definitely it will take less time, less than 200 minute. So the answer is 180 minute. This is equal to 3 hours. So it will take 3 hours. So the answer is 3 hours. Okay. Let's do question number 8. In a fort, 120 men had provisions for 30 days. So in a fort, 120 men are living, and whatever food or provisions is there, the 120 men can survive or last for 30 days. For how many days is the food sufficient for 100 men? Okay, so let's say A be the quantity, number of men, and B be the quantity, number of days men survive on the food, that is on the available food, which is fixed. The amount of food available is fixed. So now if there are more men, then definitely they will survive last for less number of days, because more men will consume more food, so they will last for less number of days. And if there are less number of men, they will consume less food, so they can last for more number of days. So this implies A and B varies inversely. This implies A1 B1 will be equal to A2 B2, and we have, it says that 120 men on the food, on the available food, 120 men can live or survive on the available food for 30 days. This is B1, this was A1, and it is asking for how many days is the food sufficient for 100 men. So 100 men, let's say 100 men, this is A2, will survive on the available food for X number of days. This is B2. Now applying the formula A1 B1 equals to A2 B2, we get 120 into 30 equals 100 into X. This implies X equals 120 into 30 divided by 100. So 0 0 cancels, this is 36. So 36 days is the answer. So 100 men will survive on the available food for 36 days. So definitely less number of men. So earlier 120 men was surviving for 30 days. So definitely 100 men will survive for more number of days, that is 36 days. Okay. Section A is complete. Now we start section B. Section B, mark against the correct answer in each of the following. So section B is MCQ. Section A was all we had to find the answer. This was not MCQ. This was kind of short answer or long answer, whatever you think. Section B is MCQ. Some 4 choices are given, and I guess only one choice will be correct. Okay, so let's solve question number 9 from section B. It says in a map 1 centimeter represents 8 kilometer. How much distance will be represented by 80.5 centimeter? So A is distance in map. So the concept of map, we have solved this kind of problem many times. So the concept of map is that a small distance in map is actually corresponds to a very large distance in real life, in actual. So maybe the distance between 2 cities in a map is maybe is 1 centimeter or 2 centimeter, but actually in the real life those cities, the distance between those cities could be 100 kilometer or 200 kilometer. So definitely, so A is the distance in map, and B, let's say, be the actual distance, that is actual distance on earth. actual distance or not. So definitely these two quantity A and B varies directly, because if the more is the distance between 2 points in a map, then definitely the distance between those 2 points in real life will be more. So A and B varies directly. This means that A1 by B1 will be equal to A2 by B2. So now the fact given is that 1 centimeter represents 8 kilometers. So 1 centimeter in the map, this is A1, is corresponding to 8 kilometer in the actual distance. So it is asking how much distance will be represented by 80.5 centimeter. So let's say 80.5 centimeter, this will be A2, corresponds to x kilometer. This is B2. So now this implies we can apply the formula. The ratio is same, that is A1 by B1 will be equal to A2 by B2. This means that 1 by 8 will be equal to 80.5 by x. This implies x equals 80.5 into 8 kilometer. So this is 44 and 644 kilometer. So the answer is, so this is the result. So the actual distance in the map, the actual distance for a distance of 80.5 centimeter in map will be 644 kilometer. So the answer is C, choice C. Okay, let's do question number 10. Question number 10 says that if 16 men can reap a field in 30 days, in how many days will 20 men reap the same field? So we already did a similar problem. I guess the problem was reap a field. Almost similar to problem number 5 from section A. Anyway, so let A be the number of men reaping the field, and let's say B represent the quantity, number of days required to reap the field. So A is the number of men reaping the field and B is the number of days required to reap the field. Now definitely if there are more men, then less number of days will be required the same reap the field, and if there are less number of men, more days will be required. So definitely A comma B, these two quantity varies inversely. So this means that A1 B1 should be equal to A2 B2, that is the product of the two quantities will be same. Now it is given that 16 men, this is A1, is reaping the field in 30 days. This is B1, and it is asking in how many days 20 men, this is A2, will reap the field, same field. Let's say 20 men will reap the same field in X days. This will be B2. So now we can apply the formula A1 B1 equals to A2 B2. We get 16 into 30 equals 20 into X. This implies x equals 16 into 30 divided by 20. This is 24. So 24 days should be the answer, and the choice is A. Choice is A. Okay, let's do question number 11. It says that if 21 cows eat as much as 15 buffaloes, how many cows will eat as much as 35 buffaloes? Okay, so let's say, so now the capacity, the amount of food eaten by each buffalo will be same, and also definitely the amount of food eaten by each cow will be same. So the more the number of buffaloes, then the more food they are eating. So definitely if the food is more, then more cows can eat that food. So if A is the quantity, number of cows eating food, and B is the number of buffaloes eating food, then definitely A and B varies directly, because if the number of buffaloes is more, that means they are eating more food, and it says that if 21 cows eat as much as 51 buffaloes, so then how many cows will eat as much as 35 buffaloes? So if the number of buffaloes is more, they are eating more food, and so more food is available for cows, so the number of cows will be more that can eat that food. So A and B varies directly. This means that A1 by B1 should be equal to A2 by B2. Now it is given that 21 cows, let this be A1, is eating as much as 15 buffaloes. Let this be B1. So now it is asking how many cows, let's say X cows, this is A2, will eat as much as 35 buffaloes. 35 buffaloes. This is B2. So now applying the formula of A1 by B1 equals to A2 by B2, we get 21 by 15 equals X by 35. This implies X equals 35 multiplied by 12 divided by 15. This is 5, 3, 5, 3, 4, 7. This is 28. So 28 cows will eat as much as 35 buffaloes. So the answer is 28. My answer is 28 and it is not in the choice. Let me see if I did it correctly or not. 21 cows eat as much as 15 buffaloes. So 21, 15, okay. And how many cows will eat as much as 35 buffaloes? So let's say X cows, 35. So 21. Now A and B definitely varies directly, because if there are more 21 cows eat as much as 15 buffaloes. So cows eat as much as 15 buffaloes. So if the number of buffaloes is more, they will eat more, and so more food will be available for cows, so more cows can eat that food. So definitely A and B varies directly. So A1 by B1 equals to A2 by B2. Now we have 21 by 15 equals x by 35. This implies x equals not 12, it is 21. It is 21. Okay, so x equals 21 multiplied by 35 divided by 15. So this is 3 of 5 divides 15 by 3, and 5 7 3 7. This is 49 cows. So 49 cows is the answer. So 49 cows. So the answer is choice B. Answer is choice B. Okay, let's do problem number 12. It says 45 cows can graze a field in 12 days. How many cows will graze the same field in 9 days? So the field is constant, and definitely, so if A is number of cows to graze the field, and B is the number of days required to graze the field. So if we consider A is the number of cows to which are grazing the field, and B with the number of days required by that number of cows to graze the field, then definitely if the number of cows is more, then the number of days required to graze the field will be less. So A and B varies inversely. This means that A1 B1 equals to A2 B2. Now it is given that 45 cows can graze 45 cows, let this be A1, can graze a field in 12 days. This is B1, and it is asking how many cows. Let's say X cows. This is A2, can graze the field, the same field, in 9 days. This is B2. So applying the formula A1 B1 equals to A2 B2, we have 45 into 12 equals X into 9. This implies X equals 45 into 12 divided by 9. This is 5 equals 60. So 60 cows will graze the field in 9 days. So how many cows will graze the same field in 9 days? The answer is given in days. How come? It says 45 cows can graze a field in 12 days. How many cows will graze the same field in 9 days? And the choices are given in days. In 9 days, I think it is given wrong. The choices are given wrong. The choice A should be 60 cows. So 60 cows. So actually the answer will be choice A, but by mistake the choice A is given as 60 days. So it should be 60 cows. 60 cows will graze the same field in 9 days. Okay. Let's do question number 13. Question number 13 says that 6 dozen eggs are bought for rupees 108. How much will 108 eggs cost? So A, number of eggs bought, and B, be the quantity, cost of the eggs bought. So definitely if there are more eggs the cost will be more, and if there are less eggs cost will be less. So A, the quantity A and B varies directly. This implies that A1 by B1 will be equal to A2 by B2. So now the facts given are 6 dozen eggs. Now 6 dozen eggs means 6 into 12, that is so 6 dozen means 6 into 12 eggs. This is A1, costs rupees 108. This is B1. Now it is asking how much will 108 eggs cost. So 108 eggs, let this be A2, will cost, let's say, rupees X. So this is B2. So now applying the formula A1 by B1 equals to A2 by B2, we have 6 into 12 is 72 divided by 108 equals 108 divided by X. This implies X equals 108 multiplied by 108 divided by 72. So 9 divides 72 with 8 and 9 divides 108 with 12. And okay, and 4 divides 12 with 3, 4 divides 8 with 2, and 2 divides 54. This is 12 162. So 162, 108 eggs will cost rupees 162. So the answer is choice B. The answer is choice B. So we completed section B. Now let's start section C, and these are fill in the blanks. Question 15. Okay, we have 15 also. So these questions are fill in the blanks. Question number 14. Part 1. So 42 men can dig a trench in 14 days, and then one man can dig it in how many days? Okay. So A, number of men digging a trench. Let A be the quantity which represents a number of men digging a trench, and B be the quantity number of days required to dig the trench. Dig a trench. So this is basically a variation of time and work problem. So definitely if there are more number of men, then the number of days required to dig the trench will be less, and if there are less number of men, number of days required to dig the trench will be more. So definitely A and B varies inversely. So this implies that A1 B1 will be equal to A2 B2. Now it is given that 42 men, let's say this be A1, is digging the trench in 14 days. Let this be B1, and it is asking that one man will dig it in how many days. So one man, let's say this be A2, let's assume one man will dig the trench in X days. This is B2. Now applying A1 B1 equals to A2 B2, we get 42 into 14 equals 1 into X. This implies X equals 14 into 42 to 14. This is 8, 16, and this is 42. So this is 8, 8, 5, 588. So 588 days. So this is the answer. So one man will dig the trench in 588 days. Let's do part 2. If 15 oranges cost rupees 60, then 12 oranges cost. Okay, so I'm not writing I will not solve the problems writing all the steps. So I will speak and hope you will understand. So now the quantities are number of oranges and cost. So definitely if there are more number of oranges, the cost will be more. So the quantities, number of oranges and the cost are in direct proportion, that is they vary directly. So we will apply the concept that the ratio, that is the number of oranges by the cost, will be same. So we have 15 oranges, it is given 15 oranges cost 60, so the ratio is 15 by 60. This should be equal to 12 oranges. Let the cost be X. So this implies from here we get X equals 60 into 12 divided by 15. This is 3, 5, 3, 4, 5, 60, 12. This is 48. So 12 oranges will cost 48 rupees. Okay. Let's do part 3. Part 3 says that if 10 meters of a uniform rod weighs 18 kg, then the weight of 6 meters of the rod is. So definitely we have already solved this problem in some previous video. Since the rod is uniform, the more is the length of the rod, its weight will be more. So the length of the rod and its weight are in direct proportion, that is they vary directly. So we will have the ratio, that is the ratio of the length and the weight will be same. So we can say that 10 meters, so 10 divided by 18 is equal to, it is given that the weight of 10 meters of the rod is 18 kg. Okay, now it is asking the weight of 6 meters of rod. Let's say the 6 meters of rod weighs x kg. So we will have 6 by x. 10 by 18 equals to 6 by x. This implies x equals 18 into 6 by 10. So this is 48 10 10.8, so 10.8 kg. So the weight of 6 meters of the rod will weight 10.8 kg, which is less than 18 kg, because 18 kg was the weight of 10 meters of length, 10 meters of the rod. So the answer is 6 meters of the rod will weigh 10.8 kg. The answer is 10.8 kg. Let's try to do problem number part 4. If 12 workers finish a piece of work in 4 hours, then 15 workers will finish it in how many hours and minutes? Okay, so we know that the quantities are number of workers, that is A. We can consider A, the quantity A, as the number of workers, and the quantity B to be in the number of in how many hours the workers are finishing a piece of work. So definitely the A and B varies inversely, because more is the number of workers, less is the time required to complete the work. And if the number of workers is less, then more hours, that is more time, will be required. So when two quantities A and B vary inversely, their product is same. So we will have 12 into 4 equals, if we assume that 15 workers will complete the work in X hours, then we will have 15 into X. This implies X equals 12 into 4 divided by 15. This is 3534. This is 16 by 5 hours. 16 by 5 hours. This is 3 1/5 hours. This equals 3 hours plus 1/5 hours, means 60 by 5 minutes, that is 12. So the answer is 3 hours and 12 minutes. Okay, let's do now let's do section D, which are true false statement. Write true, T for true and F for false for each of the following. Okay, so part 1, it is saying that if 10 pipes of the same diameter can fill a tank in 24 minutes, then 8 pipes would fill it in 19 minutes 20 seconds. Now, so the data are, the quantities are A, can be, we can say the quantity A is a number of pipes, and the quantity B is the amount of time in minutes that the pipes are taking to fill a tank. So definitely A and B vary inversely, because more is the number of pipes, less will be the time required to fill the tank. So A and B vary inversely. That means the product AB is a constant, will be constant. So we can say that 10 pipes is taking 24 minutes to fill the tank. So 10 into 24 will be equal to, it is saying that 8 pipes would fill it in 19 minutes 20 seconds. Okay, so in the second case, it is the time is given in minutes and seconds. So it's better that we convert all the units of time in seconds. So 24 minutes is 60 seconds. So AB is 10 into 24 into 60. 24 minutes means 24 into 60 seconds. So 10 into 24 into 60 should be equal to, since the product AB is constant, we will have 8 pipes. 8 into 19 minutes and 20 second means 19 minutes 20 second means 19 into 60 plus 20. Now this both the sides should be equal. This implies that okay, so 16 into 24 into 60. Let's see what is the right hand side. 10 into what is 19 into 60? How much is 19 into 60? How much is 19 into 60? So 19 into 6 is 114. So 19 into 60 is 1140 plus 20. This is 0611. So this is 1160. 1160. So this can be written as 8 into 116 into 10. This is, now this implies if you multiply 24 into 60. No, this is false, because the left hand side is 24 into 6 is 24 into 6 is 24, 144, and this is 100, and the right hand side is 48, 12, 9 to 28 into 10. So definitely this is false, because the left hand side is not equal to the right hand side. So this is false. Let me check once again. 10 pipes, 10 into 24 into 60 equals 8 into 19 minutes into 19 minutes and 20 seconds. 19 minutes means 19 into 60 seconds. So 19 into 60 is 54, 1140, and 1140 plus 20, that is 1160. 80 into 116 and 10. Yeah, it is fine. So this is false. Let's see part 2. It says that if 8 men can finish a piece of work in 40 days, then 10 men can finish it in 32 days. So the data are the two quantities are A can be the number of men and B can be the number of days it takes to finish the work. So definitely A and B vary inversely, because more is the number of men, less is the number of days that the work is finished. So when two quantities A and B vary inversely, their product is constant. So we can say now that 8 into 40 should be equal to 10 into 32. This implies that 8 into 40 is 320 and the right hand side is 320. So this is true. This is true. Okay, so let's part 3. A tree 6 meter tall casts a shadow of length 4 meter. Okay, at the same time a flag casts a shadow of length 50 meter. The length of the pole is 75 meter. Okay, the length of the pole is 75 meter. I think it is given wrong. It is saying that a tree 6 meter tall casts a shadow of length 4 meter. Okay, so for a tree, the tree length is 6 meter and the shadow is 4 meter. We know that at a specific time, the ratio of the length of the object and its shadow is same. That is, the length of an object and its shadow at a specific time, they vary directly. That is, their ratio is constant. Now it says that a tree 6 meter tall casts a shadow of length 4 meter. At the same time, a flag casts a shadow of length 50 meter. Then it is asking the length of the then it is saying that the length of the pole is 75 meter. It is given wrong. It should be the length of the flag is 75 meter. Now, so the data, the two quantities, A can be the length of the object, length of some object, and B could be the length of that object's shadow casted by sun. So these two quantities vary directly. So A by B, the ratio will be constant. So for a tree, the ratio is 6 by 6 meter is the length of is the height of the tree, and the length of the shadow is 4. So 6 by 4 is the ratio. This should be equal to for the flag. The flag, it is saying that the length of the flag will be 75 meter. So 75 divided by the length of the shadow casted by the flag, which is given 50. So we must have 6 by 4 equals to 75 by 50, and I do not think they are same, because no, these are not same, because the right hand side is, if we divide by 25, this is 3 and this is 2. Oh, they are same. They are same. And also 6 by 4 is also 3 by 2. So they are same. So this is a true statement. This is a true statement. So let me explain it once again. So over here, the two quantities A and B are: A is the length of the object, some object, or the height of some object, and B is the length of its shadow casted by sun at a specific time. So for these two data A and B, the ratio A and B will be constant. So for the tree, the ratio is 6 by 4, because 6 meter is the length of the height of the tree, and the length of its shadow is 4 meter. So the ratio is 6 by 4. And for the flag, it is saying that if it casts a shadow of length 50 meter, then its length is 75 meter. So for the flag, the ratio is 75 by 50. So now we should have 6 by 4 equals 75 by 50, which is indeed true. So this statement is true. Part 4 says that if a worker takes 2/3 hour to make a toy, then he will make 12 toys in 8 hours. So it is given that in 2/3 hour, a worker takes to make a one toy. If the worker takes 2/3 hour, and it is asking, and it is saying that, claiming that he will make 12 toys in 8 hours. So definitely the data concerned are A and B are: A can be the number of toys, and B the time taken in hours to make those number of toys. So definitely if the number of toys is more, the time taken will be more. So the quantity A and B varies directly. So the ratio A by B will be constant, and A is the number of toys and B is the time taken to make those toys. So now we can say that if the worker takes 2/3 hour to make a toy, so A by B is 1. So one toy, to make one toy, it takes 2/3 hour. So 1 divided by 2 by 3 should be equal to, then it is saying that it makes 12 toys in 8 hours. So 12 by 8. Now this implies the left hand side becomes 3 by 2 is equals 12 by 8, and of course if you reduce 12 by 8 to its simplest form, this is 3 by 2, and they are same. So this is a true statement. Okay, so this brings to the end of solving the test paper 9. I hope this video will be beneficial to you in understanding how we are applying the concepts of direct and inverse ratio of two quantities and solving the problems. The major two tasks in solving this kind of problem is to identify the quantity, the two quantities A and B, which are being referred in the given problem, and then how those two quantities are varying with each other. Do they vary directly or do they vary inversely? If they vary directly, then we will use the concept that the ratio A by B remains constant, and if they vary inversely, we will use the concept that their product AB remains constant. So if this video was beneficial, then please like it, share it with your friends, and also please support me by subscribing to my channel, and also do not forget to press the bell icon so that you will be notified by my future videos. Now with solving the test paper, it brings to the end of discussion on the chapter Unitary Method, and we can now move on to the next chapter, which I am not sure, it could be percentage. And if you think that you need a more practice on giving test paper, then I can prepare two test paper 1 and test paper 2 on the chapter Unitary Methods, because this the concept of unitary methods is really useful for solving word problems, and it might also be useful in your higher classes chapters, in some chapters. So let me know in the comment section if you need some test papers on this chapter Unitary Method. I can prepare that. So thanks for watching, and until the next video, take care and bye.